Perfection. Kilkenny are the ones who've reached the peak more often than any others in recent years. Are the chasing pack, cat hunting as opposed to stag hunting, getting any closer? It's going to be Michael Wadding from Waterford who'll be in charge this afternoon. Kilkenny won the toss. They'll play from right to left in the first half. It's exactly the same as their minors who beat Dublin. From memory, I think it was 120 to 10 points. So Kilkenny from right to left, the defending Leinster champions. Switches and changes been made already. And Aidan Hart gone to the corner. Damien Hayes got in towards full forward. As the referee gets the match underway. And Galway look for an early start here now with Angus Callanan trying to launch the opening attack. Balanced here towards Aidan Hart, and Hart puts that one between the posts and over the bar. Very good start in the opening attack. 15 seconds goal on the clock.
That was a very important score, Ger, because it was a narrow enough angle, and sometimes you see players taking shots from there, hitting them wide, but that was a very good start for Galway and a great start for himself.
Well, Aidan Hart from Gort back in the championship team once again. So now the pressure being exerted on the Galway backs. Damien Joyce going back there off his left hand side. Coming out here to meet it, Jackie Tyrrell. Big strong man from James Stephens, linking up with Michael Fennelly, last year's captain, came on in the final. That's just going narrowly to the left. Looked like it was going to start off on target, but then the breeze didn't do him any favours. Stepping inside here, looking for Kilkenny's opening score, just failing to make it. Big Ballyhale Shamrocks man, 25 years of age now, linking up with Michael Rice in the middle of the field. That puck out, once again it's Jackie Tyrrell who's back sweeping, takes it away past defenders almost unchallenged towards Eddie Brennan. Trying to swing at it there, and the line ball in the end is going to be a Kilkenny one. Tiny bit of a dispute about it. John McIntyre, the Galway manager, has done a very, very good job. National League champions, of course, but coming in here now against the All-Ireland and Leinster champions. Fennelly to hit this. Kilkenny looking for their first score. Well defended again. Donald Barry this time, diagonally across over there towards Eir Latanian, trying to take it in his stride, but in comes Tommy Welch, upended. The referee doesn't blow his whistle immediately, and it hots up as a result, and tempers get frayed, and eventually calm is restored. Crowd gets excited. This is how it happened here. Tommy Welch. Well, it was Eir Latanian who was coming in challenging, and eventually the referee did blow the whistle.
Well, he did foul, Ger, there's no question of that, and Tommy Walsh retaliated, possibly a throw-in, probably would have been the right result after that. No
yellow card issued, by the way, but he has been warned, Eir Latanian. It was a serious doubt with a quad injury all through the week. PJ Ryan now to take this from his own 45-metre line. The breeze more or less behind him, dropping it in dangerously there. Henry Shefflin comes out here, tries to make an angle, but he's put this one wide. So two wides by the two men with the first two attacks of this first half for Kilkenny. This latest one by Henry Shefflin, and it's still a point to no score.
That just shows the strength of the wind there, Ger.
Yeah, it is very, very difficult to gauge. Ollie Canning now playing it up there towards Andy Smith. Good control play by Galway, low into the breeze. Ger Farragher back towards Smith again. Now has he got this one on target? Not quite. It's going to take a while for the players to come to terms with the wind in Croke Park, which is always very, very difficult to try and get a handle on, because it swirls around in certain areas and blows more or less directly in other places. From the puck out, broken down again here to Ger Farragher, having a marvellous season. Big one up there. Damien Hayes is in at full forward, runs all the way back to PJ Ryan, the Fenians man. To the middle of the park. Eddie Brennan has started on the 40. Indeed, Kilkenny have lined up as they were selected, and Michael Fennelly gets his third possession. Little hand pass here, not quite able to link up there with Owen Larkin. Has the shot himself, should be the goalkeepers. Colm Callanan swiftly out as far as Angus Callanan, his namesake from Liam Mellows in the city of Galway. And this time the foul is by Joe Canning, chopping down, the referee has decided. Free to Kilkenny.
Yeah, I think he was a little late with the flick more than a chop then, and Angus Canning should have given the ball to Farragher, who was in a much better position, and then they could have released Joe Canning. So Galway, I think, have a plan of a short hurling, try and pull the wing backs out, and they're doing that well, but then they need to stick the ball over the bar when they get a chance. So they seem to have a plan about them, no long balls in, and try and drag the Kilkenny half back line out into midfield.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see if they can manage that much, because that half back line has been seemingly impregnable. As Shefflin hits this one dangerously in, and the goalkeeper again, Colm Callanan, handles with care, gets it out. Tony O'Gregan, big one way down the field, broken up here by JJ Delaney. Pressure back on again, comes in here as far as the captain TJ Reid, trying to step away from trouble there. Over there the man marking him is David Collins. In is Adrian Cullinan, who's come back from a bad knee injury. Here's TJ Reid, back once again towards Shefflin. Neatly inside towards Richie Power, trying to make some room for himself. It's in there towards Larkin, prodding it forward. Oh, that was very, very close. Martin Comerford was arriving, but the angle was too tight for him, and Kilkenny were out of luck.
They were, Gerard, and if we went back far, that was an excellent ball through, and Kilkenny are very good at this. They have a player who comes free, and Martin Comerford maybe could have dived for that one. But initially, Gerard, Galway had that ball in their own half back line, and they were a little bit sloppy. They should have cleared it much earlier, and they gave Kilkenny the chance to come back, but that's what they'll do when they get chances.
Colm Callanan's puck out. Again, Tommy Welch there, put under some pressure, and down goes Andy Smith. Referee goes across to have a look. That'll be a very tasty duel between the two of those men, Andy Smith and Tommy Welch. Tommy's no small man by any manner of means. He's 5'10", 5'11", and the referee has given him a yellow card.
Well, he had no option there, Ger, because Tommy was a little bit wild. He can do that thing at times, and a little rash, and yellow card against him. He'll have to be careful.
Free to Galway, to be taken by Ger Farragher. Into the wind, dropping it in, but dropping it to the left. He's missed it. So 3 wides now by Galway at this stage, by Kilkenny 3 wides, 2 by Galway, just to get it absolutely right. So PJ Ryan has gone back to college in Carlow IT, taking this puck out. Caught very well in there by TJ Reid from his own puck out, delivering it, but not delivering it with accuracy. Players not quite getting their shots on target. That breeze is very, very obviously going to be a major factor here, a major player.
That's right, Sharon. Down there at the Hill 16 end, of course, there's no stand, so the wind is inclined to be a bit blustery and it swirls around, so difficult to get your shots on target down there.
That's a poor puck out. It's gone straight to Owen Larkin, returning it, under hitting it. Goalkeeper has it comfortably, Colm Callanan. Out as far as Ollie Canning. Felt the pressure, in particular here a fortnight ago against Offaly. Just too long with his clearance to Andy Smith. Runs to Tommy Welch instead. Back down towards Martin Comerford, trying to break it. Breaks it to the waiting Eddie Brennan, and Brennan was upended, free in. So it should be a chance for Kilkenny now to get their first score of this match with just over 8 minutes gone. Henry Shefflin ready to line it up. His 11th Leinster final appearance. Well, he scored 4 goals and 79 points up to this in those final appearances. Make it 80 points now, because he's got a first of the day here, and the teams are level. So Henry Shefflin levelling up the point by Aidan Hart much earlier on. Manager in pensive mood. Always enthusiastic about Leinster finals, one of the big days in the GAA calendar. This runs in here. Aidan Hart couldn't take it up cleanly enough, however. Donal Barry was knocking it into the corner. JJ Delaney goes back under pressure from Angus Callanan. Good clearance that time by Noel Hickey, the fullback. Good to see him back. Here's Ger Farragher. Oh, that loose ball's gone straight to Michael Fennelly. In it goes here, down to Richie Power, ready to take off, and down he goes. Man who got a wonder goal in the Leinster semi-final, this time unceremoniously drawn down by Shane Kavanagh. Made no attempt to challenge him fairly.
Well, I feel, Ger, that if he did, Richie Power would have gone past him and stuck it probably in the back of the net. But that play came from Ger Farrer having a ball in his own sideline and hit it directly to one of the Kilkenny players, Michael Fennelly, and he set up an attack from there. Galway would have to be, pinpoint their balls a lot better and give their forwards a better service.
As Shefflin steps up, and you know the end result. A second point for Kilkenny. And Kilkenny take the lead for the first time in this match. 10 minutes gone. Again, a short puck out by Colm Callanan as far as Ollie Canning, who gets it away before Martin Comerford could get in the block. Tommy Welch back once again now. Long one, putting the pressure on Ollie Canning. Comerford got there first, but used his body to swing the corner back out of position and used an elbow there as well.
But you're just referring back to that short puck out by Ollie Canning. There's not much point in hitting the ball a short puck out and then for having the corner back just launching another 90 yards because it went straight to Tommy Walsh. If you take a short puck out, you have to run and link it up with your left half back and link it up the field until you get a chance. That's only adding to a big long puck out, and Kilkenny half back line will sweep them up all day.
Well, it's something for Galway to contemplate as Ger Farrer knocks it in there. Oh, straight in front of goal. Aidan Hart was coming onto it and the ball has gone wide. Final touch by Damien Hayes. Oh, there were a number of Galway players there. Kilkenny's defence seemed to freeze momentarily. Not sure what to expect there. Goalkeeper was in trouble. Aidan Hart had a go, and there too as well was Damien Hayes.
Well, you see Tommy Walsh back in the line there just to cover things up, but that would have been a huge psychological blow to Kilkenny when they had made a mistake if Galway could have capitalised.
As has been mentioned, of course, it's something that Galway had to seriously think about, getting goals and getting them early on in this match. Owen Larkin instead for Kilkenny, hooked well by Adrian Cullinan, comes back here towards Henry Shefflin. Shefflin carrying it forward here as far as TJ Reid, getting sufficient latitude to have a go and put it over the bar. Best point of the match so far, TJ Reid, and it's 3 points to 1. Kilkenny backed by the breeze here in Croke Park for the opening 35 minutes, and that was a very smart delivery by TJ Reid.
And that's the problem for Galway, Ger. 3 or 4 players went on to 2 or 3 Kilkenny players, and Reid was a supporting man free and stuck it over the bar.
Again, JJ Delaney stays back. Oh, dangerously in for Shefflin, corner of the net. Henry Shefflin gets the first goal of the match in the 13th minute. He drifted into space beautifully. Just watch it again. In over the corner back. Beautiful delivery from Henry Shefflin, way in past Colm Callanan. It's a lovely goal. Well,
it was judged to perfection just inside the post. Only Callanan could have done about that.
Well, Henry Shefflin gets his 23rd ever championship goal as Andy Smith goes raiding, trying to reply here. Ir Latanian trying to come into it, stopped in his tracks. Back here towards Damien Hayes, trying to get him into the game a bit more. Damien Hayes with a shot, and Damien Hayes put that one wide. Oh, he'll be very disappointed with that. And so far we haven't seen enough of Damien Hayes, and we've seen almost nothing of Joe Canning.
No, they're just not getting the ball to him. But we see Shefflin here again, just went inside, took the chance. Beautiful shot into the corner, but that came again direct from a puck out to JJ Delaney and straight back up to Shefflin.
Broken down by Eddie Brennan for Shefflin once again, looking around. Michael Fennelly now. Joe Canning comes in to challenge him, runs on here past Michael Rice, goes after it himself. Ger Farrer's after Rice, steadies himself, has a go, pinpoint accuracy, beautifully over the bar. It's his first involvement in the game, Michael Rice, and he comes in with another point. So it's 1-4 to a point. Well, a deep concern on the face there of John McIntyre. Hard to blame him. They conceded that early goal after 13 minutes, the one thing they didn't want to do. Michael Fennelly swinging it across over there towards Comerford, over there as well as TJ Reid and David Collins of Galway. Gets it out towards Andy Smith, up on the feet again. cleverly away, putting the pressure on the Kilkenny half-back line. Trying to get some decent ball in there towards Irlitanian in the red helmet. Back here to Damien Hayes, advancing. Again running into the challenge, the stick was high. Hayes went down, referee points in the direction of the Kilkenny goal. It'll be a free in. So worrying times indeed for some of the Kilkenny backs when Galway take the ball at them and run at them. Noel Hickey that time gets away. This time it's Ger Farah who takes the free, and Ger Farah swings it over the bar. His first point of the match. Galway's second, and it's 1-4 to 2 points. Well, they'll be hoping to keep it nice and tight all the way through this first half, Galway. Last thing they'll want to do is see Kilkenny open up a major gap. Kilkenny go for more scores. Beautifully into the hand of Owen Larkin. They're winning those puck outs and winning them well. Into Rice, and Rice lets fly. 2 shots at the target, and a second point for the 26-year-old from Carrickshock. Well, having won the puck out, they'd only one thing on their minds, and that was to set up a scoring chance. Owen Larkin, hurler of the year just over 12 months ago. Callanan trying to swing it in towards Joe Canning this time. 2 men go to him to double mark him from the puck outs. They're well aware that if he gets his hand on that ball, well then trouble will result, and Canning's in to block it down as well. Tommy Welsh looking to try and free it, and the referee decided he was fouled. And you can judge by the reaction of Joe Canning that he felt it should have been a free the other way.
Well, Joe seems to be adamant that he picked it up. We'll have a look here now. Difficult to see from that
angle. Happened so fast.
Yeah, he was very fast. We'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and definitely fouled.
John Dalton ready to take this free for Kilkenny, trying to make that number 2 position his own. He played in the 2 Leinster Championship matches last year as well, but then lost his place, hoping to have better luck in 2010. Inside towards Comerford, comes back out again, however, to Donald Barry, the 23-year-old from Castlegar. Holding the possession here. Andy Smith, one of the Portumna players. Moving it in quickly, but to nobody in particular. The goalkeeper comes, and that's another wasted possession.
And that's criminal, Joe, really, because he didn't really look. I mean, I think that's the 5th wide, and he had the ball on his own, and Tommy Walsh stayed back about 20 metres from him. He should have set that ball up to Joe Canning. They've got no ball to him, and he's their main man.
From the Kilkenny puck out, 2 players going for the 1 ball for Kilkenny, but it breaks nicely for Eddie Brennan, who's drifted in towards top of the left in a switch with Henry Shefflin. This time the decision is going to go Galway's way. And this will be taken by Tony O'Gregan. So from Galway's free, what can they produce? Little prod forward towards Joe Canning. Now he's away, and the 21-year-old has his first shot at the target, but looking a little bit rusty. Galway, of course, playing in their 4th Leinster Championship match of the season. That was Joe Canning's effort, and that was a disappointing one.
Yeah, quite poor for Joe. He had more time than he thought, and than he knew. He should have just steadied out a bit and stuck it over the bar.
Well, 20 scoring chances so far, but 12 of them for Kilkenny. This is a Galway one. Damien Hayes is in after it. Noel Hickey is there trying to guard it, and they make a mess of it, and in comes Damien Hayes, and Hayes prods it into the back of the net in the 19th minute. So 6 minutes after Kilkenny's goal, this is one that the Kilkenny backs should have dealt with. Between Noel Hickey and PJ Ryan, they made an absolute calamitous mess of this, and Damien Hayes got in past the goalkeeper over the line, and it's 1-5 to 1-2. Try making sense of that.
Well, that was badly needed by Galway, but I think, a little bit of a mix-up there. I think that Noel Hickey expected PJ Ryan to come for the ball, and they left it between him and Damien Hayes just got a touch to it, but Galway badly needed that goal.
Damien Joyce cutting this line ball up. Michael Rice takes it, whips it back in again. Brilliant catch in there. That's good full-back play by Shane Kavanagh. Out here as far as Tony O'Gregan. Well, Galway have taken renewed heart from that score, no doubt about it. Andy Smith running into challenges. Hand passing it back. Away again by Shane Kavanagh. Cross over here towards Iar Letanian. In beyond him. Coming across to take it for Kilkenny is JJ Delaney, the 28-year-old from Fenians. Back up towards Martin Comerford. Haven't seen too much of him so far. Getting it beautifully down here to Eddie Brennan. Eddie Brennan near the sideline. And that ball has gone over the bar. Terrific score by Eddie Brennan. His first of the match. So 1-6 to 1-2. But he was unchallenged, as you could see. Still a very, very awkward angle for him. But 4 points between the teams.
And sure, again, not to repeat myself, but that ball came from Shane Kavanagh just belting the ball down to nothing, and they came back up, Kilkenny over the bar.
So Galway having to be more careful as Aidan Hart tries to advance. Helped here by Angus Callanan. Helped again by Iar Letanian, who missed his puck. Comes back towards Callanan again. Oh, intercepted superbly by Michael Fennelly. Shouldered there by Andy Smith. Gets it away down the field towards Martin Comerford. Lets it run on. Tony O'Gregan gets across. Helped out over there by Ollie Canning. Back in once again. This time Galway hold the possession. Out comes Iar Letanian. Has a go. Lets fly and puts it over the bar. Great score. First point for the Ardroghan man, who got 2 goals when these teams last met. Came off the bench in Nolan Park to seal the deal for Galway in the league back, I think it was in April. But here it's 1-6 to 1-3. PJ Ryan's puck out, straight down the middle this time. Broken down here. Collins tries to get onto it for Galway, kicks it forward. Joe Canning gets loose, nobody follows him. Across here towards Damien Hayes. Noel Hickey rather slow getting across after him, showing the effects of the layoff, I think. Back it comes here to Andy Smith, back onto his right hand side. Wind helping him maybe this time, and it drops to the right, however, and it's gone wide. He's disappointed. He felt it was over the bar. Impossible for us to judge it from this particular angle here. We're not behind the flight of the ball immediately. 3 between them. Kilkenny again trying to win this one. Down towards Henry Shefflin. Flicked forward here. Tony O'Gregan goes back. First touch not great. Richie Power onto it quickly. Shoulder there by Damien Joyce. Very near the sideline. And in the referee in the end decides that Richie Power was charging with the ball. He disagrees. And the 24-year-old school teacher based here in Dublin, wagging his finger there at the referee Michael Wadding from Waterford. If anything, Damien Joyce was almost guilty of a frontal charge. He didn't quite get the shoulder flush side to side or shoulder to shoulder. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I think, Jared, if you're in a standing position, you know, you can't. It's only when you lunge into a player that you give away a free, and Richie Power was lucky not to have a free blown against him earlier on because he was a little late on Tanyan, or on Damien Joyce, at the beginning.
Kilkenny are contemplating a change. We might see John Tennyson come in a couple of moments. He's being prepared because I think Brian Cody and the selectors are a bit concerned. Tennyson required. In comes Shefflin. Had the obvious pass to give, but he goes for the shot himself. Oh, it lands on the netting and over the bar. Good one by Henry Shefflin, who's now got a goal and 3 points.
Yeah, fine point by Shefflin again. But again, Galway in possession and lost it. Lack of support. The support is a little slow into the Galway half back line, and we don't see it there. But Shefflin just came across, intercepted, and a good score.
Goal and 3 points now for Henry Shefflin. Tommy Welch once again clearing. Back down into the inside forward line. So threatening. Beautifully taken here, then lost and recovered by Ollie Canning. Challenged there by Martin Comerford. Canning looking around. Going on the solo to nobody in particular, giving it away again. The one thing Donald O'Grady here has been saying, use of possession. Eddie Brennan seizes on that one but fails to punish Galway more emphatically, and that's a 5th wide now for Kilkenny.
Yeah, I'm sure Kilkenny will be disappointed with that one. Eddie Brennan after a turnover, and he went through himself. Should have held it and waited for a bit of support, and Kilkenny are normally very, very good at that.
They had a lot of wides against Dublin. I think it was 14 or 15 in the Leinster semi-final, but a lot of scores as well. That short puck out has put David Collins in trouble immediately, but he recovers, gets it away, drives it down towards Damien Hayes, playing in there towards top of the left, being marked by Noel Hickey, who's gone across, and this time the referee blows against the Dunnamagan player. I think it was Hickey. Yeah, it was Hickey who was in trouble there. Free to Galway. Ger Farragher will take. He's got 1 point already. There are 4 between them, as you can see. Approaching 25 minutes gone in the first half. Leinster GAA Hurling Final 2010. So let's see what the Castlegar man can do with this. He can put it over the bar. That's what. A second pointed free. Well taken. So the margin drops down to 4 again, down to 3 again. And there are changes being made by Galway first of all. And Owen Lynch comes in. And he's come in place of Adrian Cullinan, who's been out for a long time and has very little training done. So Owen Lynch gets his chance, one of the Portumna players. Into midfield, marking Michael Fennelly. Pressure on the Galway full back line immediately. Martin Comerford has a go, but Martin Comerford has put the ball wide. Hasn't scored so far, nor has Richie Power or Owen Larkin, but Shefflin's got a goal and 3, and Eddie Brennan and TJ Reid's got a point apiece.
I suppose really, Gerard, there's very little ball going down into the right corner, the high ball, and that's why Martin Comerford has probably picked there with the height advantage over Ollie Canning.
Well, they'll be hoping to get the ball into him. Jackie Tyrrell now here, trying to deal with this on his hands and knees. Referee will probably throw the ball in. Kilkenny have yet to introduce the song we thought they were warming up just a few moments ago, and that would be John Tennyson if required. Right now it's John Dalton against Iarla Tanyan. Spills out here, picked up by Michael Rice, who's got 2 points already in the match. Very good performance from the middle of the park. Now Brian Hogan shores up the middle of that Kilkenny defence expertly. TJ Reid went flying in past Henry Shefflin, and he just couldn't hold on to it. He tried to contain it. It was flying through the air. Just spilled through his fingers. Out of luck. JJ Delaney. Pretty low-key Leinster final so far. Down towards Richie Power, picked up instead by Shane Kavanagh. Out towards Tony O'Gregan. Very close, very tight. Now Andy Smith gets free once again. Getting a lot of possession, Andy Smith. Up towards Aidan Hart, playing in the corner. His man is Jackie Tyrrell, and the Kilkenny man tries to get it on his stick. Tanyan gets in there as well to try and help out the number 15 for Galway. On the ground, nobody able to get it. Eventually it's John Dalton gets it forward. Cleared by Michael Rice. Midfielder had to go back to help out. Picked up here by Richie Power, swinging it, having a go and putting it over the bar, ending all that uncertainty at the other end of the field. Very decisively put between the posts by Richie Power, one of the top young stars in senior hurling, Richie Power. So 1-8 to 1-4, and there's an injury to one of the Galway players, out of shot right now. And it's Iarla Tanyan that requires the attention. Seems to be a head wound.
Seems to have got hurt in that tussle over there a while ago. I didn't see anything happen really in it. He went down, and one of the Kilkenny players went down for a second or two afterwards. Not quite sure what happened.
Well, Brian Hogan also needing some attention. What do you make of it so far? 28 minutes gone, Donald.
Well, I think that Kilkenny are playing nice economical hurling. They're moving the ball to players that are free, and Galway are huffing and puffing a little bit and not quite picking out their men as they should.
Well, just at the break here, John Tennyson has come on, and it's a blood sub. So he's on while Brian Hogan undergoes running repairs. And Brian may require some further attention. Again, the Galway doctor in to attend to the injured number 15 from Ard Rahan. Let's have a look at this again, top of the screen. Didn't quite see what happened eventually there, but he came off second best.
Yeah, he seemed to get a little dunt in the back, nothing much, but obviously it hurt him somewhere. But
Well, I think the Galway selectors will be happy enough with just 4 points between the teams. John McIntyre, manager of the side, of course, once again this year. From the puck out, it comes back to Owen Larkin. Not really making a great deal of headway here. Tony O'Greesman running into a stern challenge there. Trying to win his duel is David Collins. Back out here, Larkin has it again. Trying to turn swiftly back here towards Richie Power. Outside the 45-metre line, it's going to drop short. Ollie Canning comes, breaks it down, went after it the second time. That was good play by Ollie Canning. Otherwise it would have dropped into the hands of Henry Shefflin. But there's still pressure on. Back to help is Andy Smith. Used to doing that for Portumna. Shane Kavanagh clearing it out, but it's a backs to the wall position right now, and they're giving it away to the midfielders. Michael Rice winning it out to Tommy Welch. He'd love to score in the Leinster final. Not quite making it. Well, he's played everywhere and anywhere, of course, over the years. Tommy Welch, hugely inspiring and influential figure.
Well, there again, Ger, another chance. Shane Kavanagh with a clearance. Didn't really look and hit it straight down to Michael Fennelly. I think released Tommy Walsh, and Tommy was a little unlucky. But it's quite difficult to score points from long range down there as there's a swirling wind in front of Hill 16.
As Caldan pucks it out for Galway, Fennelly drops it down, and it's back with Aidan Hart, swinging it across towards Joe Canning. Looking for his first score of this match. He's off. 3 of them are after him. Like a hare, with the pack after him once again in Shelbourne Park, and he's gone down, and the referee has signalled that there's got to be a free in for Galway. The referee decides it was a push on the part of the backs on this man here, Big Joe Canning, the 21-year-old from Portumna.
Well, 6 of one half doesn't the other, Ger. I mean, you know, the old forwards knack of holding on to the defenders, hurling and going down. But having said that, good determination by Joe. But they need a score from Ger Farrar now. And
he's got his third. All of them coming from frees. So it closes the gap again. And back to a 3-point difference. So about 3 minutes to go to half-time. As Michael Rice wins possession, gets up very smartly, goes about his business, but that's straight to Shane Kavanagh. Return to the middle of the field. Good catch by Ger Farrar. Well hooked. Back it comes here. Little hand pass into the centre. John Tennyson, first involvement, looking for Henry Shefflin. Stolen away from him, however, by David Collins. Up towards Joe Canning, challenged over there. Broken down, there's always 2 men on him. The double teaming is working out from JJ Delaney. Michael Fennelly, big one in. Comerford was after it, couldn't quite reach it. Colm Callan gets there instead. Swiftly out as far as Tony O'Gregan. Good use of possession here. Now can Galway build from this point? They're 3 behind, approaching half time. Andy Smith over the head this time of Angus Callanan. JJ Delaney, and not for the first time, clearing out a defence. Big one. Again coming across here, Shane Kavanagh. The shadow of the stand lengthening. David Collins letting fly. Big one in. Damien Hayes was anticipating, but so too was Jackie Tyrrell. Stood his ground. Looked one way, flicked to his right. It's a high challenge there. That was Tommy Welch. Shoulder high challenge. Just look at it again here. Damien Hayes, the guilty party. Kilkenny have made more scoring chances so far in this half, and we're now in the 34th minute. And Damien Hayes is going to get himself a yellow card. So that's 2 yellow cards for Galway, 1 for Kilkenny, Tommy Welch during this half, where Kilkenny have created 18 scoring chances against 13 for Galway. PJ Ryan with the free. Big one down towards Comerford once again, attracting a number of Galway backs to him. In comes Richie Power, slipping the hand pass to Owen Larkin. Blocked initially, blocked the second time as well. That's very good defensive work. And out comes Donal Barry, the 23-year-old, and he was fouled there by Michael Fennelly. And that was a real rallying moment for the Galway team here. Everybody committed to the cause.
Yeah, very good block here by Donald Barry, and came away well with the ball, but Joe Canning is now operating in the right corner. He's on Jackie Turrell, who's a very, very tall, strong man. Galway might have been better off if they played him at the edge of the square just for the last 2 or 3 minutes before half time.
Well, let's see what happens. There's going to be, I think, just 1 minute of added time. So 15 seconds of the opening 35 to go. And after that, 1 minute will be played. Tony O'Gregan. It's very, very long. It's inaccurate. Nobody able to get at the end of it. At the end of which Galway have 6 scores in the first half against Kilkenny's 9. And John McIntyre will have a fair amount to say, I'm sure, at the break.
Well, Galway seem to have abandoned their short pucks. I mean, maybe that free from Tony Oak may have gone to the wing forwards, might have been more profitable.
Their forward play, I suppose, lacking definition really, because it's gone this way and that. Ger Farragher in, goalkeeper has to take, very secure this time, PJ Ryan. Out to John Dalton. Huge clearance by Dalton. Targeting Martin Comerford. Looking at it vigilantly was Ollie Canning there under it, helped out here by David Collins. He's trying to slip it away past Richie Power. Shane Kavanagh swinging on it way down the field again. One-handed by Aidan Hart, stopped by Jackie Tyrrell. Few seconds remaining in stoppage time, end of this first half, where Kilkenny are shading it. Tony O'Gregan back out once again. Is there another scoring chance before the break? Slipping the hand pass forward here to Aidan Hart, back on the 40 where he was programmed. Ger Farragher now looking for the run of Joe Canning. Looking for support, getting it here from Owen Lynch, the substitute, running into the challenge of Michael Fennelly, who's marking him, and Jackie Tyrrell with the final clearance of this first half, which has been interesting but far from spectacular, and not a great deal between them at half time. The only goal for Kilkenny coming after 13 minutes, scored by Henry Shefflin. He scored a goal and 3 points in all, but there was a response by Damien Hayes some 6 minutes later. Irlatanian going off, having scored a point. He was also injured during that first half, but back on his feet once again. And at half time, it's Kilkenny 1 goal and 8 points, Galway 1 goal and 5.
No changes so far, Cyril, on that Kilkenny team, waiting for Galway to come out. From Galway's point of view, I don't want to overemphasise the breeze, but there is a bit of a breeze there, so Galway have to think about that in terms of the way they approach the second half.
Yeah, and Owen Lynch came on midfield there now, and he was needed because young Cullen was back from a bad knee injury, just wasn't at the pace of the game. They need to get to grips with midfield, because definitely Rice and Finlay are on top midfield. Now if they do, I see Galway with a great chance of winning this game, because they're never going to be in a better position. They're against a strong breeze, they're 3 points behind. They've had 3 championship games now. Against Offaly the last day, they were up 8 at half time with a strong breeze in the second half and fell away. I would say that they've this rectified in training, and I expect Galway to shove on and they should win this game.
Yeah. Okay, I think Galway are about to come back. Question, last one to Ger very quickly. Can Galway do it?
Well, definitely, if they keep up the work rate that they have for the first half, they have a great chance of doing it. But as you know with Kilkenny, the constant physical tackles, they wear you down. And have Galway the physical fitness and the mental toughness to last when the game really starts in the last 10-15 minutes.
Ready to go over the second half before 31,000 people. Time to head back to the commentary box and rejoin Ger Canning and Donald O'Grady.
Thanks, Michael. 1-8 to 1-5. 35 minutes in front of us. Second half of the Leinster Hurling final. Michael Wadding gets the proceedings underway, and straight away it's Kilkenny and Tommy Welch inevitably taking the ball forward before he's hauled down by Andy Smith. It's going to be a free to Kilkenny, which Michael Rice was thinking about taking quickly, but decides in the end to just wait and allow Henry Shefflin to come out and take it. John Tennyson, by the way, is still in for Brian Hogan. He's still a blood sub, even though we've gone through half-time. He's going to remain like that, apparently, for a while at least. Playing centre half-back. Henry Shefflin knocks it in and puts it over the bar and extends the lead. So a goal and 4 for Henry Shefflin. Galway now will need a good, decent start to this second half to carry the fight to Kilkenny once again. They only got 2 points from play during the first half, Galway. 3 points from frees from Ger Farragher, and that goal by Damien Hayes, which had a touch of good fortune about it. Mix up here, JJ Delaney put under pressure, goes back. Damien Hayes was taken down, however. and it's going to be a free in, so a chance straight away for Kilkenny to go point for point. There was a jersey pull just before Hayes was dragged down, so this free from about 30 metres from the target. Joe Canning thinking about taking it, Ger Farragher likewise. Damien Hayes feeling his mouth.
I think that Joe Canning was making a point to the referee that was in 2 or 3 yards, and if it was further, he'd probably have gone for the goal, but Farragher takes an easy score.
And it's his 4th. There's so much debate, of course, Donald, as to where you should play Joe Canning. Where would you locate him?
Well, I think I would play him at the fringe of the square, and all he wants is one good ball, and he'll probably stick it for you. So that would be my place to place him anyway, edge of the square, and let Damien Hayes move around outside.
Right now he's at right corner forward, and right now the ball is in the hands there of Tony O'Gregan. Back from Farragher to Andy Smith. Tommy Walsh allows Andy Smith to drift back down the field, doesn't go chasing after him, stands his ground alongside Tennyson now in that half back line. There's no pulling them apart. You'll always find a Kilkenny half back line of Walsh, Hogan and Delaney usually, and they'll stand there firmly and will refuse to be drawn out of position. It's one of their strong points. Fennelly up as far as Martin Comerford, nicely forward here. And it was Owen Larkin who was trying to carry it forward when he was met by a challenge which the referee deems to be unfair. Has words there with David Collins. Free in the end result. Bit of a bone rattler there.
Well, Larkin had actually lost the ball, so David Collins didn't need to go in at all, and defenders need to be disciplined not to be giving away a silly freeze like that.
So once again, Henry Shefflin has this relatively easy chance by his standards to put 4 points between the teams. Henry now with a goal and 5. So nothing terribly unusual about that. 1-5 out of 110 for the leading marksman. Straight through the centre. Missed by Tommy Welch, who was trying to kick it away. Stalemate. Damien Hayes trying to take it forward. It's prodded on by Irletanian. Back went Tommy Welch, given the protection from Noel Hickey to clear it downfield. David Collins once again, 45 metres out from his own goal. Neatly over here to Edzane Gascalden. Hasn't really got motoring yet in this match. This is a good looking shot. Stopped by the goalkeeper. Could have gone anywhere as Irletanian was breezing in once again here. Dangerous moment for Kilkenny once more from Elga's shot, which PJ Ryan, with the aid of the post I think as well, managed to take it down here, and there was nothing Irletanian could do about it to steer it back on target. Couple of uncertain moments for Kilkenny. Michael Fennelly now knocking it forward towards his captain, who's TJ Reid this year, the number 10 in there. Damien Joyce, not such a great clearance, mopped up by JJ Delaney, surrounded by Galway players, helped out once again by Owen Larkin. Little hand pass into the centre here. John Tennyson, goalkeeper comes, lets it bounce. I think he knew exactly where it was bouncing and where the goal was. Colm Callan, who excelled in the league final against Cork.
Yeah, Gerald, very long range, aimless ball there, and you could see Eddie Brennan was turning around complaining because Kilkenny needs service, and that was very poor service. Obviously Tennyson was going for a point, wants to make a statement for himself. He's not getting on the team this year, and he's under pressure to get scores and to add support to the team. Under
pressure right now are Galway, and they deal with it. Out to David Collins. Had an easy pass to Andy Smith, goes long instead down towards Damien Hayes. Damien Hayes, the goal scorer for Galway after 19 minutes of this first half. Around the first half, we're now, as you can see, onto the 40th minute. Ger Farragher, and Ger Farragher has put it wide. Missed opportunity, and that's 10 wides now for Galway. Far too many.
Well, Ger, if you see the replay of that, he just tapped the ball, and down there in front of Hill 16 again, we made a point in the first half. You really have to strike it hard because there's a swirling breeze.
Eddie Brennan couldn't contain it. Goes into challenge again. Stop there, however, and it was David Collins who was stopping him. And the referee, having already spoken to David Collins, this time has the notebook out. This was the frontal charge here on Eddie Brennan, and there's got to be a card. And the man from Liam Mellows in Galway City, David Collins, getting that yellow card. That's a third for a Galway player. Kilkenny now thinking in terms of bringing on the goal expert Aidan Fogarty, 2 in the semi-final against Dublin when he came on as a sub. This free be taken by Henry Shefflin, drops short this time. Tony O'Gregan hand passing it away into the clear into Andy Smith, well blocked down by TJ Reid. Back towards Henry Shefflin, always available, but this time it drifts away to the right hand side and it's missed. 10 wides now for Kilkenny as well. So change has been made, and Martin Comerford goes off, and the player who's just gone on is Aidan Fogarty.
And Kilkenny have made a few changes now. Henry Shefflin's gone out to centre forward, Richie Power's gone to right corner forward, and Eddie Brennan's gone into full forward.
And Galway have also made a change. Cyril Donnellan comes on. That's an interesting one, because he absolutely dominated at centre half forward in the league meeting of these teams. He's come on for Angus Callanan. TJ Reid putting it in there for Taggy to go after. Aidan Fogarty beaten for it by Damien Joyce, helped out here well by Donal Barry. Beats the attempted block, hits it a good 70 metres down the field, down towards Damien Hayes once again. 2 men after him. Across it comes towards Aidan Hart, the 21-year-old, trying to make an angle for himself. Back once again, blocked once more, scrambled in there. PJ Ryan comes to Kilkenny's rescue, out as far as Jackie Tyrrell, sweeping it away down the field. Missed there by Eddie Brennan, covered well, and the referee goes in, saw a foul just as it was heating up there. Ollie Canning in the red helmet, number 4 for Galway here, challenging Eddie Brennan, and Eddie Brennan's been called across by the referee as we watch the replay of that action. Referee wants to have words.
Well, I think that Ollie Canning was unhappy with the way Eddie Brennan pulled on the ball, and then Eddie grabbed him by the face mask, which is a straight yellow card automatically.
And it happened as well in Thurles yesterday, and let's hope we don't see that creeping into the game even more. This is it again here. Oh, that's nasty. Shouldn't be allowed. Free drifts away to the right hand side, and another missed opportunity. 110 to 1-6. 9.5 minutes into the second half. His team ahead by 4, looking for 6 in a row in Leinster.
Well, Galway have had a number of chances, since the start of the second half, and each one of them they've thrown away, given away 2 silly frees, and they could be a lot closer if they had only a bit of belief in themselves.
As JJ Delaney lobs it forward here towards Richie Power, competing for it there. Across comes Henry Shefflin. This time he's got the angle, but not quite the accuracy. The other side of the goal this time for the 31-year-old from Ballyhale Shamrocks. Got sufficient latitude. Again, I think all the players having difficulty coming to terms with the nature of the breeze in Croke Park this afternoon. Calden's puck out. In the first half, Galway won 7 of their 17 puck outs. This one is won back by Kilkenny again, and by John Tennyson, putting the pressure on David Collins. Goes back, whips it away again. Good play inside towards Joe Canning, but taken brilliantly by Jackie Tyrrell. What a left corner back this man has turned out to be over the years. Great play. Back out to John Dalton, an emerging star. Huge one up towards Eddie Brennan. Tried to nurse it to himself there, very near the sideline, did well to keep it in play. Ollie Canning's back defending. Henry Shefflin trying to make some headway, but out over the end line, and that's going to be a puck out to Galway. The intensity levels rising a little in the last couple of minutes, but still 4 points between them, 11 minutes into the second half. 31,376 people at Croke Park this afternoon. Callan's puck out is a poor one, straight to TJ Reid, and he hits it back with interest and puts it over the bar. Another for TJ Reid, that's 2 in this final. The young captain from Ballyhale Shamrocks benefiting by that poor puck out by Colm Callan.
Well, always dangerous to hit the ball straight out the middle and low, and David Collins was free on the wing and he wasn't spotted.
This is good play again by John Tennyson. They're glad to have him back. The competition for places will be intense as Henry Shefflin has another shot from way out the field, from right in the middle of the park. And it's 1 goal and 6 now for Henry Shefflin. 2 in a row for Kilkenny, and they open up an ominous gap from Galway's point of view. The margin is 6 points. Back out once again here, the pressure on the Kilkenny backs, and they deal with it with John Dalton coming across, getting away from Ir Latanian. Left-handed away, up towards Owen Larkin's wing, runs on instead there towards Shefflin, back in towards Larkin, good combination, 45 metres from the target, and that one has gone right. And there's going to be another change in just a couple of moments, and Richie Hogan's about to come on for Kilkenny. So Richie Hogan comes into the game here to play in his 6th championship match, and the player going off, Eddie Brennan. 1 point was his contribution early in the first half.
Richie Hogan's gone straight into full forward with Richie Power now operating in the right corner.
Some variation. Once again it's Michael Fennelly, who's playing really good hurling this season, up towards Richie Hogan. Richie Power comes out, can't quite make it. TJ Reid can, slips it inside here. One back again by Galway, out as far as Tony O'Gregan. Knocked away, but knocked back to Tommy Welch. How many times does Tommy Welch get those loose clearances from opposing defenders? This time to Owen Larkin, and he has missed his opportunity to add to Kilkenny's tally. But you've been looking at it week after week and time after time. Tommy Welch, JJ Delaney, the 2 wing half backs, they stay there, and they always seem to be in the right position to get the loose ball.
Well, a lot of the backs, the defenders, they just don't look, Gerard, they don't take the time, they're maybe not confident enough, and they just hit it straight out there as a clearance right to JJ and Tommy, who are very good positional players.
And Richie Hogan now is tormenting Galway and tormenting Shane Cavan in particular, performing his party piece like the egg and spoon race, and that's over the bar. What an intro! First point of the day for Richie Hogan, his 6th ever championship point. Brilliant play here by the 22-year-old, absolutely tormenting Shane Kavanagh. We'll want to see that again.
Great bit of skill there, Ger. You know, he couldn't catch it the last time and just held it on the hurley. Fantastic skill, good player.
Such craftsmen in Kilkenny. Where they get them from, I don't quite know, but they produce them year after year. Good minor team as well this year. Henry Shefflin across here towards Richie Power. Power trying to release it inside, slipping it nicely forward here for Michael Rice to get onto. Got 2 points in the first half, an almost impossible angle. What a good ball across here. Fogarty, and that ball is high and it's over the bar. Aidan Fogarty announces his arrival in the Leinster final with his first point set up for him beautifully here by the midfielder who had drifted forward, Michael Rice. The marking was a little slack, and Fogarty puts it over to make it 114 to 1-6.
Great point, Joe. You'd have expected maybe to get a run on Damien Joyce there and go for the goal to cement this place for the semi-final.
I think it's very, very difficult to cement any place in any match at this stage with that Kilkenny team. Never know what to expect. Standards are so high. Michael Rice, huge one in. Goalkeeper comes. Colm Callan picks out his fullback here, Shane Kavanagh. Whoops, bounced off Donald Barry, and Barry in the end takes the responsibility. 8 points the margin at this stage, and Galway need to close the gap. They've only got 1 point in the second half so far after nearly 16 minutes of play. Cyril Donnellan concedes the free. John McIntyre looks deeply concerned.
Yeah, Shefflin coming out to take this now, Jaron. Since he's gone to centre forward, he's pulling the strings for Kilkenny, and they're moving the ball a lot faster. And they're moving away from Galway now. And Galway have only won 2 puck outs, I think, since the start of the second half, and Kilkenny really dominating.
Well, Henry Shefflin was 4 from 6 frees taken so far. That was very far out, so he played it into TJ Reid, and you can see the cleverness of that. Henry Shefflin knew it was possibly outside his range. There was a better chance for a better placed colleague. TJ Reid steps up, takes the responsibility, gets his 3rd point, and makes it 115 to 1-6.
Club players, of course, they're at Ballyhale, and be well used to playing with each other, and they'll be tuned into what was needed.
And Kilkenny are very, very well tuned in at this stage in the match. Can Galway offer any response? They need goals. Tony O'Gregan to Damien Hayes, knocked forward here, an opportunity maybe for Owen Lynch, and he's put it wide. That cohesion which you expect to see there on Leinster final day is absent at this stage in Galway's play, and John Hardiman there having a quick word with John McIntyre, 2 of the backroom people. They're preparing another sub. Going well at this stage for Brian Cody and his squad. The puck out as far as TJ Reid. Broken down here by Richie Hogan, chasing after it. Across comes a very lively Aidan Fogarty, setting up Richie Power. What wonderful team play. 3 of the forwards combining the entire full forward line to get Richie Power his 2nd point. That's wonderful. Brilliant team play by Kilkenny. Expertly done.
Well, that's a hallmark of their play, offloading it to the man, the free man all the time, and another excellent point by Richie Power. But very good support play, ran to the wing, simple ball back by Fogarty and over the bar.
And Kevin Hines has come on in place of Ger Farragher. So that is an interesting one, because Farragher had been the free taker, but they have options. They need to win some possession in midfield, and that's where Farragher had been a little below his best this afternoon in that respect. Tony O'Gregan back out here as far as Owen Lynch. They're missing David Burke, of course, out through suspension. Here's Andy Smith, little hand pass into the corner here. Hart goes this way and that, then decides to put it back towards Andy Smith. Where's the end product in this? Lynch flicking it in, stopped by PJ Ryan. Everybody challenging. Kilkenny staying nice and cool, showing that great method and understanding of theirs. From Tyrrell's clearance, it's picked up by the other number 4, Ollie Canning. Here's Tony O'Gregan. Under the ball was Michael Fennelly, batting it down to a waiting colleague. That's JJ Delaney. Up it comes once again towards Aidan Fogarty, trying to find space, partly blocked. Should be Callan's, and is. 10 points separating these teams. That's a brilliant catch. Under pressure there, John Dalton battling for his place in that full back line. He's done well. Comes out here to Cyril Donnellan. Strikes it pretty poorly, really. Never really connected properly. It comes back out to Tommy Welch with interest. Huge one forward. Touchdown by Shane Kavanagh. About 16 minutes remaining in the Leinster final. Damien Hayes. Galway need to get motoring. Only 1 point in the second half. Very, very poor return. Michael Rice without his stick. Donald Barry gets it away, only to Owen Larkin, trying to step inside the challenge. Hand passing it back once again to Michael Fennelly. Both midfielders have been very influential. Good ball in towards Richie Hogan. Damien Joyce helps the defence here, gets it out once again towards Tony O'Gregan. Now in the middle of the park, what can they do with this? They can get it as far as Damien Hayes, and he has an enormous amount of room in front of him if he wants to exploit it. And that's dropped to the left, and he's put it wide. It's a 13th wide by Galway, and it's a 6th of the second half, and their scoring return is a miserable one.
Well, Gerard, they brought Damien Hayes out now as a third midfielder, trying to get a bit of possession, but there's no movement inside when he gets the ball, and the players are a bit lethargic inside, and they're not making any efforts to run the Kilkenny defence. It is almost as if they feel that the game is up.
Yeah, you wonder coming into this match today how many people seriously contemplated a Kilkenny loss in this fixture. And when you look at the teams around playing at this level, Galway were deemed to be one of those teams who could challenge them seriously. They got to within 3 points by half time. There's 10 between them right now, and it's going to take a miracle for the tribesmen to win it, you feel. TJ Reid comes again, 2 men on him. Again, slips it away, nobody able to get a challenge in on him, and again the pressure is applied. Damien Joyce deals with that pressure. Out as far as Andy Smith. Quick look up. Huge one in towards Joe Canning. Joe Canning hasn't scored in this match, and we're in the 57th minute. Damien Hayes got a goal, a scrambled one at that. Lobbed forward towards Joe Canning again there. Noel Hickey helped out by Jackie Tyrrell. In came Cyril Donlan to apply a bit of pressure. Not sufficient, however. Out to Damien Hayes. Out around the middle of the park right now. Kevin Hines. Where will it land? It lands over the bar. That's first from play in this second half. Only 2 points in this second half by Galway, 116 to 1-7. Kilkenny looking for their 67th Leinster title this afternoon. I think if we come back in about 25 years' time, they'll be rattling up something like 35 in a row. Joe Canning can't get there. Out comes Jackie Tyrrell with it. Loses his helmet. Well, there were questions asked at one stage about Jackie Tyrrell's capacity to make it in this team. Make it, for goodness sake, he's been one of the stars in the last number of years. And of course, he was the captain who began the sequence as winning captain in the 4 in a row sequence back in 2006 against Cork. Galway come again. Oh, what a great intervention by JJ Delaney to deny Galway a near certain goal chance. Comes back out to Damien Hayes, and Hayes puts it over the bar. Galway beginning to play a bit now, but is it too late? 8 points between them. 12 minutes left.
Well, an excellent interception here by JJ Delaney, just knocked it away, and when it came back out to Damien Hayes, eventually knocked it over the bar. But Kilkenny will be content to give these point scoring chances once they don't concede any goals.
Michael Fennelly bottled up there by Andy Smith, who very nearly had the goal chance a moment ago before JJ intervened. Here's Owen Lynch. Oh, he slips the hand pass to a Kilkenny man as far as TJ Reid. Pressure there on Shane Kavanagh. Down goes Richie Power. In steps a support player, that's Damien Joyce for Galway. Out here as far as Tony O'Gregan. Cleverly out as far as Andy Smith, who's been busy in this game. Slipping the hand pass forward to Damien Hayes. If they could get a goal, you never know what might happen. Miracles can appear in sport every so often. But right now it's looking good for Tommy Welch and his colleagues in Kilkenny as Jackie Tyrrell with another huge clearance out of defence. Broken down here. Tony O'Gregan gets it out. Kevin Hines loses it. Stepping back in here is Richie Hogan. And that ball is driven into the crowd and driven wide. And it remains 116 to 1-8. 10 minutes left. Well, John McIntyre and John Hardiman, they're part of the backroom team, along with Joe Connolly, of course, and John Moylan, and their trainer, John David Carney, who have prepared the team very well, but it's looking like the quarter-final route for them, and hoping to make progress from that particular position. For Kilkenny, it'll be straight into the semi-finals. And they're playing some neat hurling, turning on the style. Good approach play by Richie Hogan here, in as far as Aidan Fogarty. Touchdown to Richie Power. Again, that combination up front is superb. A third for Richie Power, and everybody once more in the full forward line involved in that move, a genuine team score.
Yeah, a great bit of combination play there, and Richie Power actually could have held it up because Owen Larkin had run inside him, and if he had just popped it into him, they had another goal.
Well, they're content to take points at this stage, and Richie Hogan on as far as TJ Reid, inside towards Taggy. Fogarty, back it comes. Woof, that wasn't the one he intended. He intended to play it to Henry Shefflin, but got David Collins instead. Pressure on the Kilkenny backs. Tennyson's back there. Surely he's not a blood sub still. There was some dragging and pulling, and John Tennyson wins the free out. Joe Canning was after him. Still hasn't scored in this game. Holding Tennyson's hurley, dragging it away.
But it seems ridiculous to me that Galway are still trying to play long balls into the forward line. I mean, Noel Hickey's in there on his own. Galway have two players inside, and Damien Hayes is running around outside midfield. The only play that they can make it is to play short ball and run at Kilkenny.
That is interesting insofar as whenever any team plays an extra man in midfield, Galway or Kilkenny refuse to follow that and move their man out of the defence, so they keep a very sturdy looking six backs at all times. Hard to break that down. Irla Tanyan running into challenges, strongly built fellow, whipping it in, intended for Joe Canning. He'd love to score, and Jackie Tyrrell intent upon making sure that Galway don't get any more. So 117 to 1-8. 7.5 minutes left.
Well, excellent cornerback play by Jackie Tyrrell again. Just shepherd your man away, and he's a big, strong player and excellent hurler, and just shepherded Joe Canning away, let the ball go over the line, and PJ Ryan has a simple puck out now and probably play a short one.
Which he does exactly that. As far as Tommy Welsh, nobody on him because Andy Smith has played deep. Pressure on, and the backs with Shane Kavanagh flicking it away out of defence there. Out to David Collins, dragged down by Henry Shefflin. Free out to Galway. Well,
just looking, Gerard, Galway, they look a little bit tired. Of course, this is their third game in a row, Sunday after Sunday, or weekend after weekend, I should say. And I believed actually that they could have done without the game last week if they could have beaten Offaly the first day. That you need a couple of weeks to prepare against Kilkenny because it's very, very physical, and you have to be well tuned in to try and counteract their offloading game.
Here's TJ Reid. Oh, lovely skill. Ollie Canning's after him. Reid goes, but Reid misfires and puts it wide. So another one. That's 16 wides, but then they did get a goal in 17, and they have this game well and truly under control. Well, as you say, Donal, a somewhat tired performance by Galway, and they really did get a big fright from Offaly here 2 weeks ago, and again in the replay, it has to be said. Offaly developing a very good team. They have that kind of wonderful team spirit that I saw Sligo demonstrate last night when they got the measure of Galway over in Markievicz Park. Not looking like the greatest of weekends for Galway senior hurlers and footballers. Joe Canning striking the sideline cut. This one drops in, stopped on the line, and reacting to it first was the defender John Dalton. Slipped it out here. Jackie Tyrrell as far as Tommy Welsh. Tony O'Gregan comes across. Joe Canning, nice little flick, lovely bit of skill here, holding on to it. Owen Lynch, and that one has gone over the bar. Very good point by Owen Lynch. A lovely little flick back in by Joe Canning to make it possible for him. He may not have scored, Joe, but he's set up this scoring opportunity for a colleague. Look at that lovely little flick there, keeping it away from JJ Delaney, and Lynch did the rest. Yeah,
nice ball out of defence by Tony Hogan. Simple ball inside, and Lynch over the bar, but Kilkenny will be content enough with that. They still lead by 8 points, and they look very, very comfortable.
Well, they've looked very, very comfortable in Leinster for quite a few years. Michael Fennelly back out to Owen Larkin. Not the best of finishes. They looked a bit rusty in the opening match against Dublin. Their touch wasn't great for the first half in particular. It's improved here, obviously, and they are just pitching their campaign perfectly. You just get that feel.
Well, you look at the amount of wides that they had today, Ger, you know, inching up to 20, and they're still 8 points up and just playing well within themselves.
They're on for the 5 in a row. The quest for 5. This is Shane Kavanagh. Out to Donald Marry. Noel Hickey goes back, makes sure that Iar Litanian doesn't get a smell of a chance. High up into the air, not the best of clearances, breaks down here for Joe Canning, surrounded by 2 Kilkenny players. Joe's away, and Joe fires in his shot, and Joe has got his point, and he puts it over the bar. So it's 117 to 110. Good score.
Yeah, nice point from Joe Canning. Noel Hickey knocked the ball out to him, and good point, but not enough from Joe today. Galway needed a couple of goals for him, basically.
And there's going to be another change, and number 21 Joe Gantley comes on. Off goes Andy Smith, and for Kilkenny in comes John Mulhall, one of the stars of the National League. Wasn't the greatest of National Leagues, but it was for John Mulhall. He was a terrific player, and Richie Power is given a break. Wonderful to be able to do that when you've got such a talented squad of players. 3 minutes to go, and Kilkenny have demonstrated from time to time the speed and the craft and the artistry of hurling that we've admired so much. They lead by 7 points, and the drive for 5 is still there, very much set to win their latest Leinster hurling crown and take the Bob O'Keefe Cup. But of course it's a means to an end. An important one, I'm sure Brian Cody will tell everybody, and it is TJ Reid across here towards John Mulhall, hoping to open up a championship account here with a score in this game. Richie Hogan has done that already in this match. He's got one. Here he is, darting in, giving back the obvious pass here to Owen Larkin. Thought about sending the pass back, hit it over the bar instead. Nice dummy by Larkin, and that is his first point of the match also. But he's been fully involved. There was a little dummy intending to play it back out to Richie Hogan, deceived the backs, got it onto the right, placed it over the bar. 8 between them. Out to Michael Fennelly. Now Richie Hogan. I think fans around the country, Donald, are just craving to see this Kilkenny team put to the pin of their collar before that inevitable 5 in a row is achieved, because they just seem to have the game under control, played at their nice pace, their own pace at all times.
Well, they're an excellent team, Ger, and they all play for each other, and you know, if anybody's under pressure, they row in and help them, and that's why it's so difficult to break down. We've looked at their defence from high up here in the Hogan stand, and we see they hold the line at the 45-metre line, and they're very rarely dragged outside it. So they play to a system. They're excellent hurlers, beautiful touch, and they offload the ball when they need to.
Henry Shefflin with his tally now rising to a goal and 7 out of a goal and 19.
And I suppose, George, just to finish that point, the only time they were put the pin in their collar was last September against Tip, and they got out on the right side of that as well. So it's very hard to see who's going to beat them.
Well, of course, now as Leinster winners, which they are going to be in another 90 seconds or so, they can't beat Galway again until a possible All-Ireland final. This is carried on here by Cyril Donnellan, who got 4 points in Nolan Park. He's got 1 here. He narrows the gap, makes it a bit more respectable. So 119 to 111, 8 points between them. The way it'll work out from here, Kilkenny and Galway cannot meet again until a possible All-Ireland final. If Kilkenny get there, if Galway manage to come through the quarterfinals and semis and so on. Jackie Tyrrell, likewise the winners of next week's Munster hurling final, Cork against Waterford, they couldn't meet Kilkenny until a final as well. So all to play for in the remaining weeks and a couple of months of the GAA Hurling Championship. But today that Bob O'Keefe trophy, the cup, one of the most famous in the GAA, is going to go to Kilkenny. It'll be their 67th win. Tony O'Gregan taking this late free in stoppage time. Breaks down here. everybody's scrambling in after it. Joe Gantley, number 21, but it's John Dalton who emerges with it. So just a few seconds of the 1 minute of stoppage time to be played, and maybe Joe Canning to put this over from the sideline, the wind behind him. 119 to 111. Can he get another one? And he can. Brilliantly done. He did it as a 15-year-old against Kilkenny playing minor. He's done it here. And the referee set to blow the final whistle. Kilkenny are the Leinster hurling champions once again in the first ever final against Galway here in Croke Park. They have seen off the challenge of the tribesmen, and Aidan Fogarty, who came on to play a full part as a substitute in the second half, delighting the Kilkenny fans. They made it look relatively easy in the second half. They always seem to have the game under control. Henry Shefflin with a goal and 7 points, and a comprehensive victory by Kilkenny. John McIntyre will have no complaints. Brian Cody will relish the victory, and at Croke Park it's finished Kilkenny 119, Galway 1 goal and 12.
Ger Canning, Donal O'Grady, thank you very much indeed. A happy Henry Shefflin, another Leinster title for Kilkenny. It was a historic day here at Croke Park today. First ever between Kilkenny and Galway. But it didn't work out. The dream didn't come true, I suppose, from a Galway point of view. Well done to Kilkenny. Cyril Farr, Tomas Mulcahy and Ger Loughnane with me here in the studio. Cyril, I suppose a word from the Galway man first. It looked reasonably good at half time, only 3 points in it.
Only 3 points down, a bit of Strongby's second half. A bit like against Offaly last weekend, in the sense that the second half with the breeze behind us, Galway didn't drive on at all. Kilkenny came out and got great scores, took the game, kind of were completely on top, and in the last 10 minutes I suppose you could say the game was kind of over. They just went through the phases.
Yeah.
And
I know at half time you were saying tactically Galway had got it right, but I think second half was an absolute disaster for them, being honest with you, because there was so much ball went into open space inside, and Kilkenny do have it's a lesson for everybody. They keep their six backs in their position, and Galway brought fellas away out the field to midfield, out to the half back line to pick up possession, and they were hitting it back into Kilkenny guys. And
that was the puzzling thing about it.
Why did Galway change in the second half?
Something that was working so well for them in the first half. Why did they change it in the second half? And bringing out a corner forward, Damien Hayes, who was doing great at full forward, and all Damien was doing, hitting the ball into the loose man inside. It was the worst. Why Galway? When things get tight and when the chance is there to win, why they abandon something that's winning for them and change to something that has no hope of success?
But to be fair,
because everybody has seen the Kilkenny hold the line.
But to be fair, Michael Finley and Michael Rice.
Ger posed the question: why did they do it?
They did it because Michael Finley and Michael Rice were completely on top midfield, even in the first half. And these guys are two athletes. I've seen these guys 3 years ago in training. I thought they picked the team, they're only getting on it now. They were completely on top as a unit, and you saw both Galway midfielders. Ger Farr was a great year being taken off. Now young Cullen was kind of back from injury being taken off. They got completely on top, so they were starved inside. And as Ger said, by doing that, there was man short inside.
The best forward we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years for Galway has been Joe Canning. He ends up at one stage at right corner forward. He's then ends up at right half forward. Yeah. He's at centre forward. He's their star man. Put him in at the edge of the square and let everybody play around him, right? And they never did that in the second half. They never put the pressure on Kilkenny inside there.
Because I wasn't surprised in a way, because listen, one thing that exonerates them slightly is that JJ Delaney and Tommy Walsh and Tennyson in the centre. They won every puck out. They just cleaned up in every puck out. And then the two midfielders outside them were absolutely excellent as well. Sal is right, two midfielders. Now when that five are playing so well, it's very, very difficult to get past those and get quality ball past those. Now, funny enough, the Kilkenny half-forward line went totally out of it as well.
Yes.
And their man was drifting out of the midfield, and Tony Oak cleared a pile of loose ball.
Who can stand? Let's go over to Ger Canning for that.
Well, Seamus Howland, the chairman of the Leinster Council, about to make the presentation.
Fifth title in a row, and I wish you well, and I know you can do it, and I hope you go on, because I think you deserve that as young people. Well done. I'd like to thank our sponsors of the All-Ireland Series, Centra, Guinness and Eddie Airways for the continuous support of our championship. Mamatlan Buikas Leishan Red Tor, Nihal, Oxnamer Ling, Oxnamer Cool, the Cowlesh. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to present the 67th title, Leinster title, to a gallant captain, TJ Reid.
So Seamus Howland, the chairman of the Leinster Council, hands over the Bob O'Keefe Cup once again, but this time to TJ Reid, the 22-year-old captain. It's the 67th Leinster Championship win by the Cats, and the drive for 5 is on.
Tá Nasarm, a current shot, a son from Kilkenny. It gives me great pleasure to lift this cup on behalf of the Kilkenny team and panel for the 6th time in a row. I'd just like to thank a few people, especially I'd like to thank Lambia for looking after us again this year. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank the panel of players for putting in a great effort so far this year, and hopefully it will continue. I'd like to thank our physios, Robbie Lodge, Roisin Young and John Cairns. Our dietitian Noreen Roach, our team doctor Ty Crowley, our fitness trainer Noel Richardson, and our kit man Raquel Cody. And to the 3 main men, 2 selectors, Martin Fogarty, Mick Dempsey, and last but not least, Brian Cody, our manager.
Reeves there with his acceptance speech, and another good one from Ballyhale Shamrocks collects the Bob O'Keefe Cup. We're going to take a short break here on the programme. More on this afternoon's Leinster Hurling final straight after that. Gentlemen, let's hear the thoughts of the Kilkenny manager, Brian Cody, talking to Joanne Cantwell.
Well, Brian, it was another great win for you today, and yet at times in the sideline you didn't look all that pleased.
Was there? I didn't realise that, Joanne. You know, that the game was going ahead in front of me, you know, and you know, there was periods when we played well, periods when we didn't play particularly well, and we missed chances, but we created a lot of chances. It's been a great day for us, really. You know, we won the Leinster final and we're in the All-Ireland semi-final, and I don't suppose I should be pleased at all times during the game, but you know, I was very, very pleased with the attitude of the players and the way we hung in there, because Galway had periods of dominance in that game. I suppose the last 10 minutes, the first half, they bombarded our goal, but you know, our defence was very, very good, I thought.
Your defence in and around midfield and your general winning of the ball in and around that area.
Yeah, it's very, very important. But both midfielders were very, very good, and like I said, the defence as well. And we got great scores. We got on a bit of a roll after half time. We got terrific scores. But all in all, the object of the exercise was win the game, and you know, that's thanks be to God, it's done.
The way you managed to stop Galway getting the ball to their danger men, though, that has to be something that pleases you today.
Well, I mean, there was no big mad plans or anything like that. You know, we went out to try and play as well as we possibly could ourselves. You know, and I suppose that'll happen if you can, you know, succeed in winning the ball in various situations and put pressure on them as well. But I mean, you know, we just went out to look after ourselves. We weren't too particularly concerned about the other team, in so much as if we could be as good as we possibly could be ourselves. That's all we could do, really.
You spoke before the game and about how you didn't have as good preparation with the match you had leading into this. Did you find you were still quite rusty at times?
Yeah, I suppose our shooting was wayward. I suppose we definitely didn't take all the chances we created. But that's part and parcel of the process of going through the championship, you know, and we have 5 weeks, I think, roughly speaking, to an Ireland semi-final now, and that's the next challenge, to be ready for that one.
Okay, well done today. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thanks, Joanne.
Yeah, well done to Brian Cody and to Kilkenny on their victory today. So,
in so much as if we could be as good as we possibly could be ourselves, that's all we could do, really.
Look, there's no